welcome. How are we doing, everybody? All right, this is Strange Films Live. We are here tonight. Thanks for joining us. I'm your host, August, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, I should say. And I'm here with my good friend, with he's got many talents, and he's known by Hack, the horror host. But Tony Covington, my friend, Tony is here with us, and we're going to be chatting all about horror and fun stuff, wrestling, all kinds of stuff tonight. So we got a lot to talk about. But Tony, how are you doing tonight, my friend? Thanks for joining us on the show tonight.
Yes. Hi, kids. I'm doing good, brother. Normally, I'm 20 leagues below sea level in an undisclosed location, but unfortunately, today I'm just in a Kia. I had a lot going on, man. I was so busy, but I could not miss this show, man. I was so pumped for it. So if I sound kind of funny or you hear the air conditioner, it's hot as balls out. So I got to have that running. But I hope everybody can deal with me sitting in the car.
I hear you, man. And hey, we appreciate your time still. We appreciate the dedication for coming on the show and hanging out with us. And it means the world, dude. I know, like, normally you're set up in your fun studio and everything, but hey, life gets busy. So, like I said, I appreciate you just taking the time still to come out and hang with us in the car and everything. And I'm sure we're still gonna have a good time. So we'll try not to take up too much of your time, though, so you can get back into whatever you got to get going for the rest of the day. But Tony. So we got a lot to talk about, but for people who don't know you, man, let's just dive into it, man. Let's just dive into your origin story. Like, how did you come to be, Hack the horror host, and kind of all your endeavors that you do between the horror franchises and wrestling and everything? Just like, how did you get into entertainment in general?
It started early, man. Very early. Like when I was a kid, real people. Actual people like terrified me because I grew up on the wrong side of the tracks, raised by my grandma. So monsters and scary stuff didn't scare me. I was like, these guys are awesome. So anything macabre or odd was completely cool with me. And I was intrigued with it very, very early. Like I was 5, 6 years old, and I'd be watching like Tales from the Crypt and like begging for Christmas to have one of the talking stand-up dolls. I was like, can I please have one of those? And they're like, why do you want this? Like, so the love for horror, man, started super early, like from the very beginning. And the name Hack in that character came from being a kid. Like I started like young, like teenager, and making stuff with a VHS camera and stuff in the basement. And I was a tape trader. That's how I got all like the cool stuff from Japan, or a Clockwork Orange, which is odd because now you can go to Walmart and get the like 50th anniversary edition of Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, right.
And buy the t-shirt. And then I was like trying to trade, like, I'm like, man, I got these exploitation films from the 70s. I'll trade you these if you trade me that.
Wow.
But I started slinging tapes out of the back, man. So it started from a kid, very, very young. It's people don't know, man, but I've been going hard on the professional wrestling and the horror host stuff since 2005. On and would occasionally wake up and be like, so that all started then.
Wow.
Yeah, and I never stopped. But the past like maybe 5 years, I'm like super popular. Like everybody knows me in like toy stores in Wisconsin with like a cardboard cutout of my face, and I'm like, I don't think I've been to Wisconsin.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's an interesting story, man. Because a lot of people that I guess like in the entertainment industry, for horror actors or anybody in general, they'll always say like, "Oh yeah, I grew up watching horror films when I was a kid and staying up late and da, da, da. And the fact that you kind of went the extra mile and was like slinging tapes, I think that's really fun and interesting too. But yeah, I mean, me and you, we met, I think. God, I don't know if we actually, like, the first time we met was at CreepyCon last year or what, but I do remember like that was kind of like the first time we started like talking, like, through Facebook and stuff like that. But even then your presence was like really well known, like, and even at FrankenCon, you know, this past convention, I mean, you're setting up and everything, and you're a so you basically like celebrity judge and everything like that too. So you definitely have made your mark on the modern, like you said, within the last 5 years of just kind of being
Yep.
that that horror host and that character, as well as dabbling into the professional wrestling as well, also. So I mean, congratulations for making your mark on all that stuff. I mean, how does it yeah, give us a day-to-day operation as far as
Oh man,
hat goes, you know? Like
it,
what's the inspiration there?
there's no sleep at all, and
All right, okay.
I appreciate all the kind words, man. I never consider myself to be any type of celebrity or famous. Like when I'm doing all the conventions and cons, that's why you see people like sitting in my seat, and I let them sit there because I'm like, I don't like the word fans. I'm like, we all love this stuff. We're all doing
Right.
it together, and all the people there. I'm like, I'm them.
Yeah.
So that's why you see me mingling so much. And I did meet you at CreepyCon in Knoxville,
Yeah.
and I got to say something good about you, brother. Like when I met you, I was like, August is a genuine dude. He's awesome, and he's making some of the best movies ever. And I was like, man, I was like, it was a breath of fresh air because a lot of people were like, uh, I want to be more famous. Can you help me? No.
Mm,
Okay, get the fuck
yeah.
out of my way. Or I'm trying to talk to people and they're like, shoot, peasant, who are you? Like, get away
Right,
from me.
right.
I'm like, oh, okay. But
Hey.
no, man, watching Joe Bob and stuff, and the Crypt Keeper and all that stuff, I always loved it. And I went to conventions. It's funny, sometimes I still go to them, and I'll be
Mhm.
standing in line for something and I'll get a tap on the shoulder and they're like, hey, are you Hack? I'm like, yeah, I am. I'll give you a sticker in a minute. Ain't it cool? We're about to meet fucking Gary Busey.
Dude,
Like,
that's awesome.
I'm like, I'll let you cut in front of me. Like, this is
And
like, I'm standing there buying stuff. They're like, what? Why are you in line? Where's your
right.
table at? And I'm like, oh, I didn't get one, man. I just come to chill. Like, um,
And knowing you, uh, the guy you are, I mean, it's probably, I mean, I know it's a huge humbling experience just to have people come up to you and talk to you like that, right? And like come up to your
oh,
booth
man.
and
Yeah.
want you to take pictures with them, or sign things and all that stuff too. I mean, it's a really humbling experience, I'm sure, all around. Just people knowing people are watching your content, wanting to be your fan, wanting to be your friend, wanting to just like do anything and everything with you in general. I mean, like I even sharing the show when a couple days ago, I saw like you got like 20 different shares from 20 different Facebook pages because like people are huge fans of Hack Horror Show, and it's just like people were like riled up about it. So, and I'm sure that's a huge humbling experience for you, just kind of
Every
being in that role.
every single time, man. Anybody that says, "Oh, you're a Hack," or wants a sticker, I'm always so flattered. Like, man, there's no money being made at my table. Half the time, like I'll sell it, and half the time I'm so flattered that I just give them the merchandise. I'm like, here, just take a T-shirt.
I do the same
Uh,
thing.
uh, but no, man. One of the best things was the biology teacher at one of the colleges. He sent me a picture of him wearing the Hacks Horror Show T-shirt, and he said the kids had an exam today, so when they walked into the classroom for the exam, I was playing "Don't Fear the Reaper," showing them the Hacks Horror Show T-shirt just to
Nice.
get to them, and I was like, "Oh man, that is so
That's
awesome."
badass.
Uh,
Bro.
yeah, I gotta give that up to Grant, but no, man, like, because I didn't know anything. I was a fan of horror, and I was making the VHS tapes, and then the local cable station, I just kind of knocked on the door and they opened it up and they was like, "Can we help you?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm like making this TV show on a VHS tape. Uh, how can I put it on TV?" And I started taking like workshops and classes and shit like that. So learn how to edit and do all this other stuff. And then the pro wrestling was coinciding. It was at the exact same time that was going on.
Yeah,
So
so
it's
let's
kind of
let's
like
dive
two
into the
families.
wrestling there. Yeah, let's dive into the wrestling there because I want to talk about the Hack Horror Show later in the program here because there's a lot to unpack with that, man. I mean, you've got there's a lot that you've got going on currently, what you want to do with it, and everything like that. And but I think let's tap into a little bit of the wrestling, like you pro wrestling, man, and you're still active with it. And I see you doing the smack talks on Facebook and
Oh
stuff
yeah.
like that, dude. So let's so give us your perspective on the wrestling scene and everything.
Oh man, that like I said, when I was a kid, that love of wrestling was there. Like uh professional wrestling, I always loved it. With horror, I only like two things. I had two hobbies. All my friends were skateboarding, and I was like, I'll just tape it for you. Like I'll film it. I don't want to skateboard.
Nice.
But I was doing the wrestling thing. I always wanted to do it, and finally ran into a guy that would break me into the business. And it was a couple old guys. They just beat the shit out of me. They called it training.
Yeah, right.
They just beat me up, but I wanted to do it. I wouldn't quit, and I started doing that, and that's how the in the horror show it did have a different name, sort of at the very beginning, but that's how it got the name. Like, always worried about the title of the show, people thinking it's some like ego thing, but it started because people knew me from pro wrestling, and they would be like, "Have you watched Hack's show thing that comes on the cable thing?" They're like, "What's the name of it?" They're like, "I don't know. It's like a horror show, like Hack's horror show that he does."
Right.
That's what people started calling it, so I went with that. But with professional wrestling, that was fun. That started getting to travel, like going to a different state, different town, different people, and it's so much fun because it's live theater. You can
Yeah.
control emotions with however you do, and you get to watch live reaction, and you get to, like in the movies or behind the screen, I don't know how people react to it when they watch it. I hope
Hmm.
it's good. I hope they're not like, I hate this and turn it off. Um, but with wrestling, I could see it for myself. And when you got a whole room full of people just wanting to kill you or mob you, which they've done to me, they've come over the barricade, and all the fans just started kicking my ass, pick me up, body surf me, and throw me out the door. Or they're like, "I'm gonna kill you in the parking lot." I'm like, "Yes, I did good." I'm like, "I did good." Just seeing that reaction from the people and mingling, like just live right there, I was always hooked on it. And doing all the traveling, I loved it. And that was the thing. I was like, I had two dreams. I had two dreams in life. I was like, I'm do professional wrestling and this horror show thing. And luckily, I was able to do both. Which I got an art scholarship when I was in high school, full fledged paid to go to Pittsburgh. And they were like, "Oh, we got job placements," because secret talent of mine, I could paint a portrait of you or draw it. And but that's the thing, like everybody's like, go to illustration, go work for Pixar, job placements like 85%, be to California, make all kinds of money. I was like, I kind of hate drawing, I kind of hate painting. I was like, I
Yeah.
know I can, but I just don't like it. I was like, I have another idea. And they're like, what? I was like, be a professional wrestler and a horror host. And they're like, oh, they just looked at me like I just shit on the floor. They were like, "What?" Like, no,
Right.
you got to do this. But the professional wrestling, I haven't stopped yet, and it's seldom now when you catch me in the ring. Most of the time, you just see me out there running my mouth, making everybody mad and running away from them. That's the fun part, and not getting beat up. But every once in a while, man, I just get this wild hair, and there's like a Slash up in Indiana. He's another horror host, and he had some stuff where he had to quit wrestling. And I was like, I bet I could goad him into one more fight. So I just started talking shit online, and it worked. And it worked.
Oh, that's great, dude. That's
So every
great.
once in a while, I'll hop in there, but I can't let it go, man. Like my body's beat up and broken. People see me all the time, and they're like, "Hack, you're limping. What's the matter?" I'm like, I don't. It just that's my leg don't work.
Mhm. Yeah,
There's a
so I
lot
had
of
a couple
injuries.
questions for you. One, did Hack come first as far as like the name Hack come first before wrestling, and then you kind of brought it into the wrestling world, and then eventually led into horror show, or was it Hack was like your character name in wrestling and then you brought it to horror?
It was it kind of happened at the same time, because when I started professional wrestling, I was also starting like the horror show. I made like a bumper intro.
Gotcha.
But the name, unfortunately, I didn't think of it. I can, being completely honest, I
Yeah.
didn't pick it. I was trying to think of all these silly gimmick names because I wanted like a stage name, and I thought of stuff like I don't know, the dumbest names you can think of, and I had them all wrote down, and they were horrible names. Like I think one was like "Fuck Master Freak," and then I scratched it out. And then I was like, douchebag and a tool. Okay, douche tool. Then I was like, no, scratched it out. And the very first wrestling match I had no name. I had no ideal. I had an ideal, but I didn't have that identity yet. I just had the ideal in my head, not the identity. And I was trying to think of the name. And a guy walked by me, and he saw I had a meat cleaver in my hand because I forgot the chainsaw. So I had a meat cleaver I brought with me. He's like, oh, meat cleaver. He's like, you know how they have Cactus Jack? You could be Cactus Hack because you got a
Nice.
meat cleaver. And I was like,
Nice.
you know what? Yeah. And I was like, I told the guy ring announcing, I was like, call me Hack. I didn't like the cactus part, dropped it, but I was like, I like Hack. And I'll always think of it as a joke too, because the way I do shit, sometimes I will get in so much of a rush, I will just put it out there. And if it looks bad, I'm like, fuck it. Hope people forget me. So the Hack name, people think of as like you're chopping something a hack, but I think of it as like a normal hack. Like if somebody's doing a shit job, they're a hack.
All right. Okay.
But
That's cool.
nobody ever comes up with that, man. They always say, "Oh, you're a computer hacker," or they're like,
Yeah.
"Hack, you hacking up something?" And I yell back, "I'm like, you could have called me Sack. Like, do I got to think of the jokes for you? Like, come on." But the name, the name spawned at the wrestling show, and I was like, "That's it. It's Hack.
Nice. It
That's
just kind of
it."
clicked for you. Yeah.
And since then, man, I never dropped that gimmick name. Like now, everybody, of course, everybody in life calls me T or Tony or TC. So I get several different names, man. But now the real name's popping out everywhere. But Hack, I won't be like The Rock, man. If I get mega famous, how he's like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. No, the Hack will fucking stay.
Yeah, right on, dude. Right on. That's a cool little story. The second question I had, and then we'll move on, is what kind of have you had any like injuries from wrestling that you say you're like a little broken now with your body? Like what maybe is the biggest injury you've had from wrestling?
Ooh, I've broken all my fingers. I've
Oh yeah.
broken all my toes. I've dislocated my both legs, both at the
Oh
knee. Both my knees were dislocated. Put back on the spot, and I couldn't bend them after, but I kept going. Lots of broken bones, broken rib, uh, bruised lungs. My
ooh,
eyebrow, if you see, it's split in half, and then I got a big scar going across my nose there. Several concussions, way too many concussions.
wow.
Been knocked out a couple times. The worst injury I ever had though was completely ruptured the bottom disc in my back.
Oh
Uh,
shit.
I completely blew it out, and the sciatic nerve that runs beside it, when it blew out, went in between and almost ripped it in half. So my leg completely like twisted just from that. So if you see me walking slow where I'm kind of limping, that's because doctors have told me, they were like, you're supposed to be, they're like, I don't even know how you walked in here. You're supposed to be in a wheelchair. Like, how do you
Wow.
walk? I'm like, I got shit to do.
Yeah.
Uh, I
I got a
can't sit
horror show to
around.
run.
So if you see me
Wow.
moving slow, it's because the muscles in my body try to figure out different ways to hold me up and move forward, because my body's like, no, you're fucking broken. but my brain's like, I gotta go. So
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
crazy muscle spasms because my muscles are trying to figure out different ways to hold me up and walk, man. But I don't know. They ain't put me down yet, so I ain't gonna
Hey,
stop
hey,
anytime
you're
soon.
still hanging out, man, and you're still doing a kick-ass job. So, we commend you for that. But yeah, I always, I watch like wrestling documentaries or stuff like that, and you always hear like the long-term effect of wrestling, and like, cause it's not like it's a theater, like you said earlier, but it's not, it's no joke. Like they're actually doing these
No,
insane stunts, and they're getting their asses kicked, and they're breaking their bones, and they're hitting each other. Like there's a lot, so I
yeah,
can only imagine like the physical toll it has on you if you're actually in that world.
yeah.
Um,
It's man. Uh, I was at the Sevier County Fairgrounds, and I was doing a match out there a couple years back. And when I was done, all the kids want to come up, take a picture. And of course, kids I always have a soft spot for. I'll never be mean to them. Uh, I was on my knees and I was shaking all the little hands and taking all the pictures. But I was dying because my orbital bone was completely broken
oh my god.
across right here. And my eye was swelling up. And I was just like, I really want to go put some ice on this.
Yeah.
Kids are like, "Can I have a picture?" I'm like, "Absolutely." And I stood there until I was done with every one of them. And then one kid came up to me, and he had a couple of disabilities, and he loved it. And I didn't have a T-shirt with me, so I just pulled the one I was wearing off
Oh wow.
and gave it to him. And I was like, "Okay, I don't care if I'm half naked at the fair. Need some ice."
That's great.
No, it gets brutal. It gets very,
Yeah,
very
I can
brutal.
imagine.
And
Oh,
there's a lot of scars and beat up things. Like if I go to the beach and take my shirt off and you see my back, you'd be like, "Oh my god! Like what the hell
yeah,
happened?"
yeah.
Like were you? I can't count how many times I walked into a Waffle House at 3 in the morning or into an ER, and I'm like, "I cut an artery in my arm. Can you sew that up?" They're like, "I've been asked, have you been in a car wreck more times than anything else?"
Wow.
That's the most frequent question. Were you just in a car wreck? I'm like, sort of, like, kind of.
That's wild,
I
dude.
just had my,
Well, hey man,
but
what an interesting story, man. And I know you're still kind of active in it. And we'll kind of touch on some upcoming stuff that you maybe still be involved with some, with the wrestling community and everything in the later in the show here. Let's say hi to some people in the chat though. We've had
yeah,
some people hanging out watching with us. So of course we got David Brandon with Simascare. He is saying that you're doing all the right things, bro. Keep up the awesome work. And that
man,
he, with regarding the CreepyCon, that he sent you to the table, and
he
that's how
did.
kind of
He
we did
did.
meet right there. So yeah, man, and I'm so grateful for that, man, because ever since then we've been just kind of real tight. So it's been great. Kofi Jones is in the house. Hi there. He's gonna be one of our friendly actors in the new movie He Comes to Kill. And I think
Awesome,
actually, and you know what, you're gonna be sharing that scene with him, my friend. So I'm real
awesome,
excited
brother. I
about that.
can't
So
wait.
Kofi, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Let's see. David also says he wants to come to a wrestling match one day. Bring me on stage. Introduce me as David MF Brandon. All right, man.
We can
Dominique
make
is
it
in the
happen.
house. He's hanging out, and Dominique is part of He Comes to Kill. So we're really excited to have you on the stream tonight, as well as hanging out with us for the film.
Yes,
Thanks, Dominique, for stopping by. And Frank Aguilar wants to ask, who is your favorite wrestler? Do you have one?
I do. I do. My favorite wrestler. Actually, I have two. It would be the Undertaker because
Okay.
he was, of course, dark and scary, and I was like, that's fucking awesome. And the other is Vampiro. Vampiro is a multi-talented guy. Keep up with him on everything. He's amazing. Actually, got to go to Atlanta and be part of a thing he was filming and hang out with him. Humble dude, so nice and awesome, man.
Nice.
That was a great experience. I'm sliding around in the snow. I thought I was gonna miss him, but I got to catch him as he's leaving, and he's like, "There you are," and I was like, "Holy shit! I'm glad I made it," and got to do the whole interview with him, and that was cool, man, because
Badass.
he's a hero as a kid, but now the stuff he's doing, he's a hero as an adult too.
That's
So
right,
in the
dude.
other stuff he's doing.
Cool, man.
He was a
So
scary cat too, man.
yeah. So there you have it, Frank. Undertaker and Vampira. So some of Hack's favorite wrestlers. And DC just wants to say, I don't recommend any Waffle House walk-in in clinics. Any Waffle House walk-in clinics, they another cover your injuries instead of using butter. Oh man, we love you, DC. If guys, if you don't know, DC is he has made a lot of original music for strange films over the years. He's made some really fun electronic tracks, Echoes of BC, I believe, and it's all on the Strange Films YouTube page. If you ever get a chance, check it out. Any of those original electronic soundtracks, all from DC, and they're super cool. All right, man. So we want to give a shout out to Strange Films family for hanging out with us tonight. Everyone who's popping in on the stream tonight or who are coming back to watching this later on, we appreciate you guys. Always give us a subscribe. It really does help us out. Give us a like, comment, and all that good stuff. Follow Hack Horror Show. We're going to plug you again at the end. But Tony, man, we're really thankful for your spending the time with us tonight. But man, it's that time of the show where we play this game called Take It or Leave It. And Take It or Leave It, man, it's basically I ask you 10 questions, and 5 of them are going to be related to kind of what you do as far as your entertainment business goes on, and 5 are completely random. You tell me if you take it or leave it and why, and I'll tell you my answer too. And then, of course, everyone who are watching and commenting, please let us know your answer as well. So, Tony, are you ready for Take It or Leave It?
I am.
All right, my friend. So number 1, Take It or Leave It. I know you love horror, man. So what did you think of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Netflix, the newest version of that? Take It or Leave It.
Oh, I didn't know you were going to do that to me from the beginning.
Dude, people always, I get that same response. They're like, man, you came out of nowhere with that.
I thought we were friends, August.
I love you, man. I had to ask.
Ooh. I'm going to take it.
Take it. All right, dude.
Yes,
right on.
I will. Oh, God, everybody's going to hate me now.
Dude, no, the thing is, I take it too, though. But I'm like, so on the scale 1 to 10, I'm like a 6.5 to 10, but that kind of leaves it to the take it side versus leave it. I had fun with it. It's not perfect at all. I just had fun with it. It's like, it's not really a good movie, but I just had fun with it. And I liked seeing Leatherface and like that. And there were some scenes I was like, man, I was like, I don't know. I just enjoyed watching it at home. I would have been mad probably if I saw it in theaters, but watching it at home, I was really happy about.
I had fun with it, man. The bus scene, when he got on the bus,
yes,
they turned around and they were like, "You're canceled, bro," and he just started slaughtering everybody and the body parts falling. I was like, okay, that take it for me right there. That whole scene did.
I think that bus scene probably saved it. Honestly, there's some parts where I'm like, like cringing from, and it's like a little bit like I really like the formula that a lot of movies are doing now, where it's like it's not a reboot, but it's a sequel because they're like, making it like the original character from the very first film in like the 80s is like involved with this new film and stuff like that. Like that sequel, like that idea is cool. And Halloween, the new Halloween, not Halloween Kills, because that's a whole different story, but the new Halloween did a really good job doing that. But I think they kind of pushed the envelope. Like, I don't know, like with this Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it's like, oh man, did we really need to do that? Like, I don't know. It just didn't seem like it worked because the characters didn't pay off. It didn't pay off.
It was a straight up, it was a cash grab because the Halloween stuff, and they were like, let's do this. But there had to be one guy on that writing staff who said, okay, I get it. It's a cash grab, but fuck it, man. Let's have some fun with it while we do it. Like, we're going to make some people happy.
For sure.
And him picking like her up with the chainsaw, goes forever, and she's somehow still alive. I like that part. I like the part with the Texan getting his leg broken and then he walked on it. I was like, yeah, man.
Yeah. I
mean, you can't do that. And I'm like, I've broken myself. Like, I've dislocated and broke my collarbone before. Now my shoulder's sitting on my chest, and my other arm, this one just kind of was like bent over and fell and broken at the same time.
Oh God.
And I just sat up and I was like, that was fucking awesome. I'm like, I wish somebody got a picture of that. Like,
yeah. So I agree. I take it just because I had enough fun with it to be like, It's fine. Let's see though the comments here. Kofi Jones, man, leave it. It could have been called anything else and like it. That's good, man. That's good. I like that. That's funny. Yeah, no, there's a lot of people that hate on it. There's a lot of people that hate on it, and I'm not mad at them for hating on it. I'm really not. I understand, but let's see. David says, "Take it." I thought it was badass. So, yeah, man. All I care about is the gore and characters that work for me. Bus scene was insane. Let's see, Dominique, man, you're in the house again. Here, take it or leave it. How you feel about the new Scream, and do you think they should just stop making Scream? Because they did announce, what's it, Scream 6 now coming out next year? So yeah, did you watch the new one?
Yes, I hope they keep making Scream forever. I fucking love it. I do. I love Scream.
Man. Honestly, I would take Scream too, because I didn't hate the new Scream either. I enjoyed it. I thought honestly, I think what made me really like it was not only the original characters like Courtney Cox and
David Arquette.
David Arquette, yeah, and Sydney, she like they all came back, but like the kills, the gore, and everything. I thought they did a really good job with that. Like I was like, man, they're like ripping them up, and I like that, So no, I take it, and I honestly, I think like if they can kind of twist the idea a little bit, I would always be happy with a new Scream movie.
Well, Scream came along, man, and I got to give credit where credit is due. You had your slashers, and then Scream came along and kind of like rewrote a lot about how slashers were done, man, and it took off and went with it. And I love the first one. The second one, like the original, like first three, like I was all on board for them. I loved them, and even if we're up to 6, I love it because I'm the type of guy like Jason X. When that movie came around, I was like, Jason in outer space, fuck yes, I am all in on this. Like I loved it. Leprechaun was in space. I love Leprechaun. It's a franchise and it's a brand new movie every time it comes out. So I hope they make Scream forever, man. I really
cool,
do.
man. Yeah, there you have it. And I'm right there with you, man. I really love the franchise itself. So Stanley Elk versus Leatherface. So if you guys are going to be introduced to Stanley here in a few months, guys, we're really excited about it. Frank says the only thing I had a problem with was the film was the character from the original. So I think they just didn't do justice with it, to be honest. So but let's see. Dominique, the last Halloween, Mike was super strong. He beat up the least 10 firefighters. Like, come on, bro. Yeah. Yeah. You could have called it A Day in Texas, and I would have loved it. Just not under the Texas Chainsaw Massacre name. All right. So, yeah. So, we're getting some mixed reactions,
That's a good name.
Yeah. No, honestly, that is a good name, Kofi. Day in Texas. I do like that, man. Even Hellraiser in space. There you go, man. Yeah. So Knoxville Hacksaw Massacre, dude. There you go. Knoxville Hacksaw Massacre could be a really good film to put K-Town on the map for a horror verse.
Ooh, I like that.
After he comes to kill, man, let's get our heads spinning. You know what I'm saying? All right, dude. So number 2, that was the first one, man. We got 9 more to go. Number 2, take it or leave it. Sloppy Joes.
Take them.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Yeah. Okay. At this point in my life, I think I'm leaving them because I haven't had a Sloppy Joe in years, and I really don't know what's in it.
I don't want to know what's in it.
I don't want to know what's in it. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what's in it, and I just feel like it's a little. I don't know. It's sloppy, and I don't know.
But in all fairness, if you see my picture, like I love all the foods that everybody hates. But if you see my picture, I'm the spam eating champ, and that's a legit award. Like I
think I did see that picture,
and then I grabbed everybody else's plate, and I was like, "I'll finish yours too." Like those giant dudes in there were like tattoos of food on them, and I walked in like into the Redneck Olympics, and I was like, "I'm taking the trophy home with me." Like I love spam, I love that stuff. Like look in my car, like I got Vienna sausage.
Oh my god.
And like anchovies. So man,
dude.
Shit. I haven't had one in years, but I would start playing some Adam Sandler, man, and eating a sloppy Joe.
All right, right on. So Simba Scare says, hell yeah, just take the keto version. Frank says just hamburger meat. So all right. And then DC in Texas, Sloppy Joe actually has Joe in it. So there we go.
Nice.
All right, man. So number 3, take it or leave it. You're a wrestling fan. What do you think about UFC? Take it or leave it.
Take it, man. Love the UFC. I've been watching since '93.
Mm,
And a lot of people don't know
wow.
that, but I have had MMA fights. I have done MMA. It's a
Oh,
whole
yeah.
different world.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it. The last fight I had, the guy was like 16-0. He's probably like 220 with like a 20-inch waist. I mean, he was stacked, man. He came out with the whole Gracie train. Team came to the cage, and I was standing there by myself, and I was like, all right, let's do this. And when they locked that cage door, man, there's 900 people there watching. They
Oh,
all
shit.
disappeared, and it was just me and him. Um, Touch gloves. We backed up. We came in through. I caught him with the jab. We went to the cage for a little bit. Was bucking around there. We managed. We fell on the ground, and I was bucking and everything. And I was like, "Oh my god, this dude has super strength." I couldn't get him. I couldn't move him. It was like a brick wall. I was like, "Oh my god, he's strong." And then he finally got me, and he got me in full mount. And I was like, "Oh no." So I couldn't buck, I couldn't row, I couldn't get out from underneath him. So I just held him to
Wow.
me as tight as I could. And I got a couple little shots here and there. And man, he broke loose and he set up. And I was like, oh shit. Had me full mount and he set up on me. I was like, oh fuck, I'm doomed. And
Yeah.
oh my God, he made it rain down on me, man. He knocked me out with one punch, woke me up with another punch. I wouldn't submit or give up. I was just trying to ride it out until the round was over. But the referee stopped it, and I was like, holy shit. Best fight I ever had, man. Like,
Wow.
yeah, so the MMA, man, love it and got a lot of respect for it. I watch
Yeah.
it all the time. I keep up with it, man. That's probably one of my favorites too. No more MMA for Hack though.
Right,
That
right.
last one, I
Yeah.
was like, oh shit.
That's a cool first person experience story you just told though. That's kind of neat, you know. I'm not gonna pretend I know anything about UFC or anything like that, but if you have a favorite fighter or anything like that, I just
Oh,
I like watching it. I just don't know. I don't keep up with it, you know. But I don't mind. I love watching it. You know, I think it's fun.
oh, favorite fighter was probably Forrest Griffin, man. That guy was cool. I seen him and he was dressed like Brad Pitt from Fight Club. He had the red leather jacket, everything. Had some of the best fights, and then he wrote the survival book,
Oh wow.
How to Survive the Apocalypse. And it was the funniest book I've ever read in my life. uh, he was always my favorite, man. There's been a few like they come and go so quick, man. It's hard to stay on top
Yeah,
or stay
yeah.
in the UFC. But my hats off to those guys, man. We got Valor. We got Valor fighting around here, man. If you ever get a chance to go to one of those, go. It is like the best time.
Cool, cool, awesome, man. All right, well, thanks for your input on that and the story, man. That's neat. That's neat. I like watching UFC. I just don't keep up with it. All right, let's see. Number 4, man. Take it or leave it. Bluegrass music.
Take it.
Take it. All right, right on.
Yes.
You get
Um,
down with the bluegrass.
I do, man. Well, it depends. Some of it is like no, 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 like,
Yeah.
and it's like a super twang in their voice. It drives me crazy, and some of it's
Mhm.
okay. Then some people just constantly send me this bluegrass band playing a Metallica song, and I was like, I don't care for that shit either. But
Mhm.
I can't. I love so many different genres of music, man.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
I can't believe it, man.
I hear you. The reason I ask is I was at a show at Sprout here in Knoxville last weekend, and they were playing bluegrass music just out in the patio and everything. And bluegrass is like I'm not really ever seeking bluegrass or listening to it on my own spare time, but if I was listening to it, and I literally said to my buddy, I was like, "This is nice," you know. I was
Yeah,
like, "Yeah, I was like, this is nice." Like I don't know, it was just like a nice like hearing it in the background. You know, live music I think is always live music is always great, but yeah, man, hearing in the background stuff was really fun. But it just had it kind of made sparked the question of bluegrass music. So yeah, let's see. Cinemascare says, take it. I'm down for having a hee haw time. There we go. Yeah. I hear you though. Sometimes bluegrass can be like ding 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 ding, ding, you know, like
yes.
all right, man. Number 5. So in the war of streaming platforms right now, you know, and everything with the status of essentially of like just trying to get yourself out there and also Hollywood and everything like that. So take it or leave it, network television. I mean, how do you stand on that now? Because there is so much like I was listening to a podcast earlier and it was basically like kind of boiling down to is like network television isn't really worth it anymore because you can kind of just have your own platform where you can do your own thing and or whatever. Streaming is always dominating in general anyways, but I mean, so where you stand on network television?
With network, man, yeah, it's great because everybody can have it just by plugging the TV up. But
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna have to leave it
Yeah.
because working with some of the cable stations that I've worked with, they brought me in to help them, like almost as a consultant, to
Mhm.
help them move to streaming because even network and even cable is dying out, man. It's
Yeah.
first of all, it's completely overpriced. I mean, if you get a bunch of streaming channels, it can be expensive too, but you're paying like over $100 for ads. It's
Right.
all it's just for something to put, like network is just something to put in between advertisements, man. And everybody has a phone. Everybody's connected to the web now.
Mhm.
So network television, man, and cable, it's dying out. So I got to leave it, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, I started with VHS tapes, and then the local stations here. I remember family members of Justin Rabbit Ears that watched my show at like 3 in the morning and stuff. But I always try to keep up and keep moving forward, whichever way, wherever the path is going, where everybody's watching their stuff, I'm all for it. Streaming now, man, it's kind of nice when movies hit theaters and then they also pop up on like HBO Max.
Mhm.
I'm like,
Mhm.
the new Beavis and Butthead movie just popped up on like Paramount. I was like, I'm so ready for that.
Right.
That
Yeah.
was a so I gotta leave it, man, because nobody's doing anything with it anymore, and now it's just sports and some sitcoms, and that whole demographic of people watching. It's a lot older crowd watching, and when they're
Mhm.
gone, man, it's gone too. And the TV stations are preparing for it. They're already starting to convert instead of being on cable or being on network, convert over to streaming. So streaming all the way, man. Network TV. I love television. Always want to be in television and be not on like a phone or anything. I wanted to be on the TV set, man. But
Mhm.
it worked out better because I get ratings in sometimes, and it's like, okay, on TV, your ratings were like this number. On streaming, they're like, okay, 62,000 people just sit down and watch the show. So I was like, oh shit, let's focus on that.
Well, I
Like,
think the
but
biggest thing also regarding network television, so like, let's just say Hacks Horror Show, for example. I mean, the stuff that you want to put out versus like what they're making you put out, I think, in network television, where it's like, hey,
yeah,
you have a very strict guideline here, you have a contract here, you can't show this, you can't do that. Versus if you're on your own platform or if you're on a streaming platform that's like, hey, you
yes,
do whatever you want to do because we like what you're doing.
and
That's where I
and
think
that
it's the difference, because people want to express themselves completely versus being, you know, restricted the entire time.
that that issue has occurred, man. That's been there. Because all the money to be made is with your advertisers.
Yeah.
And I had some stuff on the table before, man, but they told me the format and they told me what I had to do and change. I could still be hacked, but I wasn't being hacked. I wasn't being
Mhm.
honest to myself or any of the people I had been watching. Like, I always worry about what I put out there because I'm like, I don't want to do them any injustice at all. I'm like, I worry about those people. I'm like, if I put a fucking Sham Wow commercial in the middle of Hack's Horror Show, there's gonna be a lynch mob. They're gonna be like, why would you do that to us?
Yeah.
Like,
Who are
uh,
you, man?
yeah, like different things that
Yeah.
I do, man. People are like, Hack would never do that. Why would, like, you
Right, yeah.
can't do that. So,
That makes
and
sense.
plus, I just couldn't do it, man. Like I ain't supporting big corporate, man. I'm all about the little guy because I am that little guy. Like
Yeah.
when people come to the conventions and talk to me, I'm like, I'm literally you, man. You can sit here if you want to, and I'm gonna go walk around for a minute. Like
Right,
if you
yeah.
make any money, we'll split it when I get back. Like,
There you go. That's
um,
cool, man.
Yeah, so I gotta leave it, man. I gotta
Good
leave it.
deal. I'm right there with you. I think we're just in that day and age where we have to. I think, like you said, the audience is going to naturally, and TV networks, everything. It's we're all naturally progressing to that modern like streaming and independent
Yeah.
studio where it's just a thing in the past. I really do think so. All right, man.
And
Number 6. Yeah. So take it or leave it, dude. Roller coasters.
oh my god, leave it.
Leave
Leave
it.
them.
Oh
Leave
no.
them. Leave them. I've gone,
Why?
man. I have been on boats in the middle of the ocean. I've been on trains going through nowhere. I've been to Odessa, Texas, uh, which is the worst place on the planet,
There you go.
other than Jake Perry and a couple of his people.
Shout out Jake Perry.
Yes, I love you, Jake. Man, I've been on airplanes. I love airplanes. I call them a sky bus. I'm like, I don't want to drive 20 hours. I can be there in 4. Uh, but man, roller coasters. My wife is a roller coaster enthusiast. We
Mhm.
have gone to different states because she wants to ride every roller coaster that's on the planet.
Nice.
And my wife is, you've met my wife.
Yep.
She's
Yep.
like 5 foot tall. She's always smiling, and she's beside me, both arms up, just tickled to death. Wee the whole time, saying this is the best time ever. And I'm just holding on, just steaming. I'm like, oh man, is this how I go? Is this how I go? Strapped into a damn cart, fucking going nowhere upside down, like
Uh-huh.
bungee jumping. The guy was like, "Oh, you got to do this, that, and the other." I was like, "I think I got it," and dove off. Not afraid. Roller coasters? No, no. I'll leave
Yeah.
them all
All
day.
right, dude. All
Half the
right.
time, I'm like, "I'll watch you, honey. I'll hold the purse, and I'll wave when you get up there." Like, no.
Oh man, that's funny, dude. Yeah, I actually take them, man. I like roller coasters a lot. Sim Scare says I leave it because I'm scared of heights and speed, and I've said it on the show like probably 2 or 3 times now. I'm scared of heights, but something about roller coasters, man. I just like the adrenaline rush on that, man. I think they're a lot of fun. The only roller coasters I don't like that I have to really either hype myself up to do or I just won't do them is the ones that you dangle, with your leg, like you're not
Oh,
in the
those are the
park and you're
worst.
those are the scariest, dude. Like those are the
Yes.
ones that actually really terrify me. But everything else, I actually really do like roller coasters. I haven't done one in a while, but I'd like to try it.
Oh,
I'd like to go back on one. Kofi says, "Take it when young, gotta leave it now." So yeah,
yes.
but
Yes, that's it. I'm with
yeah,
Kofi on that.
it just
Sometimes I
reminds,
got to. You'll
yeah,
find out, August, man. You got a boy too. When they get older,
uh-huh.
like rock climbing walls, man. I've done so much stuff just because my kids walk by and see it, and they're like, "My dad would do that. My dad would do that. He ain't afraid of nothing. Like he'll do it right now."
Yeah,
And and I'm standing there. I'm like, uh, I'm trying to stay face in front of my sons. I'm like, yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I'll climb that wall. Watch this. And I'm dying, but I got to make it to the
Oh,
top.
that's great, dude.
Then I kicked and repelled off and like took out a crowd of people. I'm like, I'm so sorry, but they kind of like my
Yeah.
hands were tied, man.
Oh, that's great, man. I love it. All right, so we found out that Hack does not like roller coasters. Do not offer him one at all. All
All
right,
the
man.
jobs I ever had, I was always up high. I was a tree climber for a long time,
Uh-huh.
and worked out of lifts. I'm not afraid of heights. I don't
It's
like
just
roller coasters.
yeah,
Don't
yeah.
like roller coasters.
That's funny. DC says, "How about a roller coaster horror film that has a roller coaster arsonist that exacts his revenge on one he hates? This film could be called Roller Toaster."
I'll
Oh,
be in the lighting department on that
there you
movie.
go. Yeah.
I'll be the script
That's
supervisor.
funny.
I'll
That's
bring
funny.
bottled water to
Nice.
cast and crew.
Awesome, dude. All right, man. So you're a horror fiend. I'm sure you like all kinds of horror monsters and all kinds of things, but let's see if you like take it or leave it. Zombies. What do you think about zombies? Are they kind of like overplayed out or do you still like them?
Ooh, zombies. I'll take them, man.
Right on.
Because I got to give it up to the first ever zombie, which was Frankenstein. Uh, Technically, he had to be the first zombie. He was dead, body parts
I guess that's
reanimated.
a fair point. Yeah, for sure.
Some zombie movies, Night of the Living Dead,
Yeah.
Return to the Living Dead, which was
Hmm.
a masterpiece in my mind.
I
Uh,
love that movie. Yeah.
they are a little played out because me being me, I'm sitting there, I'm like, when you die, certain things happen with your blood and your muscles, and rigor mortis kicks in. I'm like, don't matter if their brain turns on, they can't get up and move. I'm
Right.
like, they physically can't move because if they've been dead a little while, even for a few minutes, and then they come back, no, their muscles and blood, everything's dried up. They ain't moving. There's no
But what
way
do you
they're
think
getting up
about
and
it
moving.
being played out, like, as far as, like, pop culture goes over the last, like, let's just say even 10 years? I mean, Walking Dead kind of was, like, the reinvention of zombies, and then it was, like, over the last 10 years, it was just, like, now it's, like, nonstop zombies, like, anything and
Yes.
everything, and wa even The Walking Dead, I mean, like, I like the show, but, man, like, I can't keep up with it because now they got, like, 7 different Walking Dead shows, and it's, like it's just, like,
Yes.
like, I can understand. I kinda even got in this place where I was like, "Man, zombies is, like, the last thing I ever wanna do because there's just so much zombie
Yes.
content out there." But I
It's
still
so
think it's cool. Yeah.
oversaturated.
Right, right. That
So
yeah.
no, no,
Yeah,
no
I
to
mean,
the zombies. Too
I
much.
thi
Too many
yeah.
zombies.
I think, like, creatively, I don't wanna mess with zombies, I mean, I do, but I don't, like, but, I do, I guess I should say now because, some stuff, but, like, I don't because, be like, I don't wanna do, like, a full-on zombie movie just because there's just so much zombies, like, there's so many zombies out there, but I do like zombies. I've always liked the idea of zombies, so take it or leave it, and I like that the CDC even released, like, an official, statement of like how to prepare for zombies if like, a zombie apocalypse
Yes.
happens. So, yeah, who knows what they know. Um, let's see. I love The Walking Dead, but I'm terrified of them ever since Night of the Living Dead. Yeah. So, uh, Kofi says take them can actually have a decent original stories. We know it will start, but can have fun with them like Evil Dead versus Walking Dead. Yeah. I mean, like I think if it's done right, you can definitely like make a great zombie film. I just, like you say, like last 10 years, I think it just got really, really oversaturated. I do
Yes.
have my own zombie story for my own stories from the dark comic. There we go. David Brandon's coming out with his own comic book. All righty.
Yes.
Number 8. Let's see, take it or leave it. What do you think about Jackass, the movies and TV show?
Take it all day.
That's right, man. Right
uh,
on.
love Jackass. I just got to see the new one. Loved it
Nice.
too, man. I watched every single one of them.
Mhm.
Uh, Butterbean's been on there. Butterbean's
Yep.
been on my show, man. He's a cool dude. But
Nice.
Johnny Knoxville, man, got to represent Knoxville.
For sure.
Uh, South Knox boy. But no, Jackass, man, absolutely loved. I'm the biggest fan of that type of television, like Jerry Springer or Cops. That's the way you can really get me to watch TV. Like if I go to the bargain bin at Walmart and I pull out like a DVD and it's like Street Fight
Yeah.
7, I'm like, I'm buying this. Like I'm the guy, I'm the one who keeps them in business, or it's a videotape. It's like Backyard Wrestling 9.
Yeah.
I'm like, yep, I'm the guy who's watching that. They're like, who the hell's watching this shit? It's hack.
There
Uh,
you go.
so man, yeah, I take it all day. Jackass, man. It's original comedy, and you see people like blowing up porta potties while they're trying to use it,
Uh-huh.
and absolutely love that type of television, man. So
I'm a
yes,
huge fan.
100% take it.
I'm a huge fan. I take it. I watched Jackass Forever, watched 4.5, and now I'm rewatching the original like TV series right now. And I've also been listening to Steve-O's podcast like just nonstop, like every other day.
Yes,
And it's just so good, dude. It's just, I love listening to stories and Steve-O's grown up a lot, and also he's like really sober right now too. So, but like it's just interesting to kind of hear his perspective on like the older days and stuff like that. But yeah, man, all mad respect to those guys, and I'm the same way. I love watching those like nitty gritty like street videos and stuff like that. You remind me of when you were saying like those street fight video DVDs or something like I saw something on Facebook not too long ago. There was like prison fights or something like this. Just like really
yes,
someone bought it on eBay, like prison fights. Like like oh my god,
yes.
yeah, dude.
You got to
Um,
send me that.
yeah, I know. I'll have to find it. Let's give a shout out real quick to Jennifer Pearl, man. She's in the stream right now. Jennifer's gonna be in our new film, He Comes to Kills, and she says you have a real live Walking Dead zombie here. She says you can't live in Atlanta and not be a zombie for The Walking Dead. So Jennifer,
Yes,
thanks for stopping by and hanging out, and that's awesome that you got to take part of the show. I mean, I think that I would never deny an experience like that. Yeah, for sure. Like that's
yes.
Fucking awesome.
Shout out to Jennifer in Atlanta. Love
Yeah,
Atlanta.
we have, and she's gonna be coming up and shooting some scenes with us, so we're really, really, really excited. Dominique, who again, he comes to kill. He's gonna be joining us. We're really excited to have him on board. Ah, damn, that's cool as hell. I tried plenty of times to get on The Walking Dead, so he's shouting you out, Jennifer, there, and she says it was incredible. So I think that's super, super cool, guys. And Walking Dead seems like it's gonna be going on for another 10 years. So Dominique, you still have
I'm
the chance, my friend. You know.
I'm friends with 3 people that were with Negan, the Saviors.
Oh, nice.
My cousin was Josh Turner, big guy with the tattoos, like, and then Scott Lane, he was one of them, and then a lot of people don't know, but Gary Lee Vincent, he was a savior. Like, I know a lot of people that's on the show, but she just got me thinking about Atlanta. Like, man, I love Atlanta. I have
Yeah.
a lot of fun there. Too
Well,
much
it's
fun.
yeah, yeah. I was down there Days of the Dead back in like February, dude. And
Yes.
I had way too much fun. Like I
Oh,
drove home like miserable. I was like, but
August. I was gonna come to that, man, because
yeah,
normally every single Days of the Dead they have in Atlanta, I'm there
yeah.
at all of them. And I was talking to my wife and stuff, and she's like, "We just left Atlanta." She's like, "Maybe we'll wait," because I mean, like, Atlanta's so much fun. It's a
Yeah.
giant airport. It's nonstop partying, and
Uh-huh.
Days of the Dead. I gotta give a shout out to Days of the Dead, man. They always have the
Dude.
best time at all of them.
Yeah, it was such a good time. Shout out to all the Days of Dead guys and crew that put that thing together. And I'm friends with a lot of them on Facebook now, which is and I still keep in touch with them or comment on their posts and stuff like that and share their stuff because they just did a really great job. The hospitality, it was really well organized.
Yeah,
They had a lot of fun, the after parties and everything. I was out till
yeah.
like 4 in the morning, just like listening to Metallica cover band and just partying way too much, and it was just a really, really good time. I had an awesome time there, and but even like so we have another actor who's coming on to He Comes to Kill. His name's Jake Capranica. I probably didn't say that name right, but Jake, I met him at Days of Dead, and he's going to be coming on to He Comes to Kill. So we got some Atlanta people coming from
Nice.
I mean, between Jennifer and Jake, and I'm really, really just excited to have them come down and hang out with us. Let's see, we didn't leave it out. We didn't leave it a 2 block radius. Yeah, well, we did. We partied like within the few blocks there.
Yes, you don't have to go far.
But you don't have to go too far. I've been to Atlanta before that, once or twice that, I like the thing is I was even telling my buddy Blake, who actually just oh no, that's Blake Best. Hey Blake, and Blake Best is actually gonna be in
What's up,
He
Blake?
Comes to Kill, dude. We're super excited to have you. But Blake Hall, he came to Atlanta with us, and one of the big main conversations we were having with him was like, I was like, dude, the few times I've been to Atlanta, I feel like I've always been in a different part of Atlanta because it's so
Yes,
big. It's like it's
yes.
just like I never know where I'm really at because I've always seen different parts of Atlanta, but you can always find something fun to do. So, but yeah, man. So
Oh man, I can't tell. I can't tell on the show, man, all the stuff I've done in Atlanta, but just say
we'll we'll
spent a
save it
week
for
there one day.
there you go. Yeah, man. So we're excited for our Atlanta people. We can't wait to have you up here and make a fun movie. And Days of the Dead, if you guys ever listen to, we really appreciate you guys. You guys do a kick-ass job. And again, Blake Best, thanks for stopping by, man. We're really happy to have you on and to
Hell
work
yeah,
with you
Blake.
on He Comes to Kill. We got a lot of He Comes to Kill people on the show tonight. I'm super
Yeah.
excited. All right, dude. Number 9, we got 2 more to go, and then we got to get back into the show.
Oh yes,
Number
yes.
9, dude, take it or leave it. Modern day wrestling, man. And I only quote it like that because I'm not like familiar with all the modern day wrestling stuff going on. But like, how do you feel about watching wrestling now versus probably like wrestling in the 90s, which was I know is more of the iconic scene going on.
Actually, man, modern day, I'll leave it. It's
Oh yeah, okay,
yeah, I miss a lot of that. I miss a lot of that, like working the crowd, man, and having that passion and it looking like a real fight
yeah,
out there. Now it's just I don't like it being too choreographed. I mean, I'm not knocking them because the stuff they do is absolutely amazing. Like the reversals and all the stuff they do, man, is insane, and I absolutely love it. Uh, but I have to leave it, man, because I love it out there, like where I believe that these two guys are going to kill each other, and they're working too well together to be in a real fight. So that kind of bothers me sometimes, man. And then,
Okay, yeah.
it's all kind of PG now.
Do you
I
feel like it's
miss
a little
like
overproduced now? Like
yes,
kind of like
very. It's all
yeah,
like LED lights
right,
everywhere,
yeah,
and I miss like the crop chops and crowd signs. Like, there's no crowd signs anymore. It's just like red lights and LED signs. But the people don't have signs anymore. They used to have like, like Cartman, like blow Cartman signs and like just stuff like that. Random signs up in the crowd, man, were always the best, and I miss that. Like, I miss that part
I
of it.
hear you. I
So I
hear you.
gotta leave it, man. There's
All
just
right.
LED signs and producers. That's it.
You know, every once in a while I'll get like a wild hair at my ass, and I'll be like, "Oh, I want to watch some wrestling," and I'll either try to find like old wrestling clips and highlights and stuff like that from like the 90s, but I'm like,
Yes.
let me watch some of this like the newer stuff. Let's see what's going on. And man, like it's kind of like what you said. I'm like, man, this is like feels way overproduced, feels really cheesy. It feels like, like
Yes.
I don't know, it's just like I don't know. I have respect for them. I know they're doing their job and they're fight. They're doing the moves and everything. But I just feel like it's just like it's not as authentic as it used to be, and it's hard
Yes.
for me. It's hard for me to watch. But as a wrestler, yourself, I was kind of curious, just kind of how you thought, because I do see a lot of people still watching it and stuff like that, and kind of having a lot of fun with that stuff too. And like Kofi Jones says here, half and half, depending on the person, characters, the storytelling can be great or horrible. So that's kind of I feel like
Yes.
that's where it's at the moment. So
He's absolutely right.
right. All right, man. Let's get to the last one here, and then we'll get to the end here. So number 10, take it or leave it. Alligators.
Oh man, take them.
Take
Take
them.
them.
All right.
If anybody ever has an alligator and they say I can fight the alligator,
Oh
I
shit.
wouldn't hurt it. I don't believe in hurting animals. I wouldn't
No.
hurt it, but I do want to roll around with one.
Yeah.
Please. And I don't believe in hurting animals, but I do eat all kinds of stuff. I love alligator meat. I eat it all the time.
Yeah.
Also eat
I
frogs and
actually.
turtles and everything else. Like, nothing's safe around me. I'll I'll eat any of, but I would love to wrestle an alligator. And they're like dinosaurs that are still here, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to just like find one like hanging out outside. That's why I ain't gonna live in Florida, because I'm gonna walk to the mailbox and there's a fucking alligator there.
Right.
But yeah, man, I take them.
I
I'll
think
take them.
alligators are fascinating because, like you said, they're kind of like that prehistoric dinosaur, like ancestry in
Oh,
them. In
there we
them
go.
and
Got some
everything.
light on me, man.
There you go. I know it's getting a little dark out there, man. We're near the end here. But alligators, yeah. I mean, I think I had to leave them just because I'm a little terrified of them, but at the same time, they're super cool. I'm really
Yeah,
fascinated by them. I do want to try like alligator meat or something. Like I know like
good.
that's a thing. I've never tried it. I've always wanted to try it. But now knowing that you want to wrestle an alligator, let's see if we can ever arrange that, and I'll come out there and
Yes,
film it, dude. We'll make a whole video out of it, dude. So there you go,
yes,
guys. If anyone knows of a professional alligator handler or exhibit that would let Hack come by and wrestle or hang out with it. Yeah, let's do it.
yes,
All right,
please.
dude. And then let's see. Last year, I tripped a boat in Florida in the middle of tipped a boat in Florida, almost died. So I'm sure, but he says, but he'll take it. So alligators, man. All right, dudes, that was take it or leave it. Hope you enjoyed the game. I
Did.
love playing the game with everybody. It's a nice icebreaker and kind of gets to know the guests quite a bit. So thanks for joining us, dude. I know we're wrapping up. We're at about an hour right now. So thank you again for your time. But I just wanted to ask again, or let you have the chance to talk to everybody who's listening or comes back to listen to this. Just let everyone know about Hack's Horror Show, man. Like, how did it come? Or I mean, we kind of talked about how it came about, but like, what's the deal? How can people find it? I know you're on Roku, man. Like, let's give the people the details about Hack's Horror Show and what you do on the show.
Yeah, Hack's Horror Show is completely TVMA. So I mean, don't let the kids watch. And if they get caught up late watching, please turn it off. But no, Hack's Horror Show is just raw. raw me talking, no script, no nothing. I show a whole bunch of original music videos. Every
Nice.
episode you get a music video from original bands, stuff like that. The movies I show, I don't believe in censoring anything anybody created, so I'm not cutting nothing out of the film. If there's boobs, if there's gore, it's all staying right there on the show, man. And I always believe in giving back. I have celebrity cameos, but if you're a fan of the show and you find me and you walk up to me, you send me a video saying your name, you're watching Hacks Horror Show, I'll put you on it.
Nice.
All kinds of independent artists, whether they're painting, whether they're making sculptures, I will make sure to plug them on the show, man, and help bring more eyes to them. Movie trailers, stuff like that. I love showing those. I showed the movie trailer to The Raven, man,
Yeah,
and
we
I love
appreciate
to
that,
give.
dude.
So if you want to know what's going on in the indie world, especially people who haven't got a big platform or haven't got that big following yet on any type of social media, man, you watch Hack's Horror Show, and I'm talking about them on there because there's so many people out there doing so many great things, man. And I just want to tell the world, like, Hack don't do shit. I'm I'm there to be like, this person is doing something cool. Go check them out. Like, I'm just introducing you to all kinds of cool stuff and showing you all kinds of different things. I'm a nut. I never plan on what I'm doing. There's episodes where you can tell that I'm completely wasted, and then you see me pull out the bottle, and it's confirmed. And
Yeah.
then there's skits on there, make stuff up. It's a little bit edgy. It's completely different. I'm not a vampire. I'm not like a kooky type of guy. I'm not gonna throw rubber chickens at you like Svengoolie. No disrespect to him. I love Svengoolie. Love Joe Bob Briggs. He's one of my idols. I love every horror host out there, man. But I wanted to change the game. You can damn sure watch it on Roku.
Yes.
Just if you got a Roku, put in Hacks Horror Show, add it. It's free. It will always be
Mhm.
free. I'll never charge a dime to watch my show. It's on Asy TV, ASY TV, which I got to give a shout out to them, Brandon Bishop at Asy TV. When I was getting canceled because of the content, I wouldn't change it. I was like, you're trying to get my show integrity, and I won't fucking have it at all.
That's the best quote.
Yeah, I was like, that trash TV, man, that shock jock thing, like, I'm not gonna let that die. Like, I'm gonna keep it going. When all the cable stations were gonna cancel me because of the stuff I was doing on my show, they were like, no, you can't do this. And I'm like, yeah, I can. Uh like, and I will. Aside TV picked me up and gave me that chance, so a
Nice.
lot of love to them. You can see me on so many different things. A lot of things with all content horror hosts. I'm on all those completely. YouTube has banned me so many times. Viacom, if you're listening, Viacom, go to hell. Stop buying everything. You can't control all the media. I don't give a shit. You can't get rid of me, Viacom.
No.
All your letters you sent, yeah, I'm not doing nothing wrong. It's telecommunications. I have the rights to use whatever. So Viacom, fuck you. Keep your money. The other letter you sent me, I'll never sell out. You can keep it. I don't care how much money you got. I'll take that back. If the number gets way big, then I'm gonna have to kick that around.
Yeah.
But I am on Vimeo.
Yeah.
On Vimeo, everything's on Vimeo. There's a link on my Facebook page.
Yeah, I think the link
Uh,
is in this description as well. And if you have another link we can post on there, we'll do that. But the Vimeo link is on this video. So if anyone wants to check it out, they can do that. If they're on Roku TV, search Hacks Horror Show. I've already downloaded on my Roku TV, and I've checked it out a few times. And Frank Aguilar says he has Roku, so he's definitely going to be doing that.
nice.
Simascara is saying that is it on Tingler Television now too?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes, it
right
is.
on, right on.
It's
So
on
that's cool, man.
Tingler Television. Eulogy Mortem
Yeah,
is
shout out.
one of the best horror hosts ever.
Mm-hmm.
Eulogy is such a pro. I'll never stop giving Eulogy props on everything she does. It's always amazing. I'm
We met,
terrible,
yeah,
terrible. Eulogy's amazing
we
and
met
doing
Eulogy at
so much.
FrankenCon, and she was awesome, man. She gave us a really great shout out now, and ever since we've been like really good supporters for each other and stuff like that. I hope to have her on the show sometime. She's doing great things with Tingler Television too. So we've definitely
Yes.
given Tingler a few shout outs on the show here. But yeah, she's awesome.
That was the thing, man. Like, I was hosting a thing at the movies, and I knew my fan base and knew my crowd and knew the Knoxville crowd. So Eulogy there, I reached out to Eulogy and I was like, please come do this with me. And of course, Eulogy was like, yeah, which was perfect. Got her down, got her at the movies, and it's like, okay, now let's like, I want you to be at the cons that I'm at. Like, I want you to be there. And sometimes it gets salty, man, with pro wrestling movies and stuff like that. Like, nobody wants to, like, they got their piece of the pie, but they don't want to share it with nobody.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it kills me. But I'm not like that. I'm like, you come, like, hang out with me. Like, I'll share my table with you. Just
Yeah.
sit down and chill with me. Big fan of them. But yeah, Tingler Television, Vimeo, Roku, probably on YouTube. Search Volboy. He's got my shows on there too. There's other people on YouTube who bootleg my stuff. I don't mind
Nice.
it. I'll go ahead, put it out there. Uh, Probably like the Internet Archive. There's probably old stuff on there. Like, if you find that, send me some clips. If you dig up any of that really old shit, like, send me that and I'll do a
Nice.
flashback episode.
Right on.
Yeah.
And how often do you think, or do you have like a schedule of what you post on the show, like on between all these platforms, or is this kind of like whenever you got some new content coming through, you just kind of throw it on there, or how's
Oh
that work for
no,
you?
no. I always normally drop at least 6 to 16 episodes at a time.
Nice.
Right
Okay.
now, I'm a little bit behind on them because that's the problem. Like, normally once a year, I drop a whole bunch and I tell everybody and we build it up, and then I let all the shows come out at once.
Okay.
I'm a little bit behind on my new episodes. It's just because Hack's been out there being Hack,
Yep.
and I'm doing so much, man. I don't. I stay so busy
Yeah.
being Hack, doing all these different things. I get a little bit behind, but I got 16 episodes
Oh,
about to drop very soon. They'll be out probably by the end of the July or August. We got 16 brand new episodes coming out,
hell
and
yeah.
these 16 episodes I'm dropping, man, like, I'm going balls out on them. So you can watch. There's 32, 36, almost 40 episodes on the Vimeo and Roku right now, and those episodes ain't gonna compare to what I'm about to drop out to the
Nice.
entire world.
That's badass, dude. So guys, check it out. Hacks Horror Show, like he said on Vimeo, which is a link in this video here. We've got on Roku. You can probably find some clips on YouTube. Tingler Television. There's so many probably ways you can just find Hacks Horror Show. He's got like 40 episodes you can catch up on, and then you got 16 more on the way, and that's exciting. So we appreciate you telling us about it. And DC just wants to say it's great how you are using so many different forms of horror to introduce new artists in the music, art, and film. This is how new ground gets broken and moving forward with new ideas in the world of horror. And that's awesome, man. I mean, Strange Films kind of has, we've been trying to follow that same track record as far as like incorporating multimedia experiences, whether it's film and art and music and comics and podcasts or anything we do, because we want to introduce, we try to collaborate with as many different like local and people who are doing the grunt work, because it's like, it's that mentality that everyone says, if
Yes.
one of us wins, we all win, because I want to bring everyone
Yes.
up, it's not just about me. I don't want it to be just about me. I'm having a good time doing it, and I like working with all the people that I'm doing it with. So why wouldn't I ever show off their talents? Because 9 times out of 10, they're better. They're more talented than I am in general.
Yes.
So, so like, I love it, man. I love what you're doing. You're fucking awesome, man. We really appreciate you taking your time to come on the show and talk about that. And we've got your socials and everything on here, so people can check you out, and hopefully follow you along on the journey. So thank you again, man.
Thank you, August. Thank you so much, man. Thank you
So
to Strange Films.
yeah,
David Brandon. I fucking love that guy, man. I gotta
yeah,
say that. The Big and Funky Productions. Got to give them a shout out.
nice. There you go.
My brother, Jake Perry.
There you go,
Slash
Jake.
Slash and Chill Productions. Jake Perry, man, he's a fucking master at so much shit, dude. Like he can make
Dude, Jake
and
Jake is
create so
legit.
much shit.
Just the
And
stuff
such a
I've
good
seen,
dude.
and yeah, he's a good guy. I talked to him, and I was on that show with you guys a couple months back, and
Yes.
the stuff that he showed me, the special effects that he does and everything, and then what you've already told me on top of it, I was like, oh my god, like this guy's legit as shit, and he's just a nice guy too. So shout out Jake Perry for sure. But yeah, man. So anything else you want to plug away? I mean, and I've told this to everybody before, but you are going to be in our new film, He Comes to
Yes.
Kill. And we're super, super excited to have you on there. It's going to be a really, really fun scene. And Kofi, who was on this chat earlier, he's going to be sharing that scene with
Yes.
you. Actually, we've got a lot of people on He Comes to Kill on the stream right now, and we're really excited to have every single person. We're so excited. We're moving on to the second phase of basically locking down some of those scheduling dates and some of the last few locations we need. Just kind of getting everything together. But we're really happy, man, to get moving on this project, and I can't wait to link up with you and film some stuff. But anything else you want to
Same.
plug away, you can do that. You have the floor. And the last thing also is any advice that you'd like to give to anybody that's watching right now, whether it's with life or creative endeavors.
Yes, man. I have to say, I wish I had this lighting the entire time I was doing the show. Look
All
all
right.
dark and ominous now. But no, shout out to Jake Perry because Jake Perry's a real dude. Slash and Chill Productions. August, shout out to you, brother, because what you're doing, you're making these amazing films and doing all this stuff. And man, talking to you, knowing you, man, you're a real fucking dude, and I appreciate that. Like just who you are, I appreciate that, man, so much.
Thank
So,
you, man.
and
Nothing but love over here with you, man. Nothing but love.
I got to give a shout out to you guys, and then to all the people who let me be in their movies and cameos and stuff like that. I appreciate it, man. I love everything. This Saturday, I'll be at July Fest in Maryville, and that's just hanging out at a haunt with all kinds of people. I appreciate every single convention, all the people out there trying to do their thing, and if I got any advice. Um, Man, I come from a very rough neighborhood, raised by my grandmother. I had no chance or opportunity whatsoever. I could have whipped down the wrong path, but if you got a dream, fucking do it. Like I said, I just started making VHS tapes. I kicked open the door of a TV station and said, "Hey, I'm going to do this." And don't give up on those dreams. Just keep pushing. Do it. You get to meet all kinds of cool people, and there's people out there that will help you. Whatever it is you want to do, you can go do it. And don't let anybody change it, man. Everybody's gonna dangle a carrot in front of your face. They're gonna throw money at your feet, or they're gonna tell you it's not worth a fuck and fuck off. Don't listen to any of it, man. Just follow your gut. Don't be rude. Don't be mean to people. Don't be a dick because that ain't gonna get you nowhere, and nobody fucking likes an asshole. So be nice. And if you go on sets or you go anywhere, you go to a restaurant, you go any place, the guy mopping the floor, be nice to him. Not just the waiter or not just the director. Be nice to the guy who's bringing bottles of water around, man, because it's taking everybody to do all that shit. So don't be a jerk. Don't let anybody ever fucking tell you no. And if you watch my show, I'm prime example. They're like, holy shit, if this guy can fucking be on TV, man, I can do anything.
Right on, dude. That's perfect, man, and that's beautiful to say, dude. Yeah, I mean, just be good to people, be nice, do and follow your heart, and dream up the best life you can, dude. Just take one step at a time. But yeah, dude, that's well, perfectly said, and we appreciate you coming on here. And dude, like I said, I mean, ever since me and you started talking a while back, and the times we've seen each other, and just talking through Facebook, I mean, I have a lot of respect for you as well, man, and nothing but love over here for you. So I'm super
Thanks,
excited to
brother.
keep working with you, keep building that friendship with you, and everything. And dude, I'm excited to see what else, what other crazy endeavors you bring to the table with horror and wrestling or anything else that you come out of, man. We'll have to do another show sometime down the road, man, and do a
Please.
follow up. So
I'm down, man.
awesome,
Find me
dude.
that alligator.
You
Find an
got that's right, dude. That's another thing. We got to find an alligator now. That's one of my next missions. We're gonna be another an incarnation of Jackass over here. Just like
Do
that's great, dude. And DC just wants to say, stay real and never listen to haters. Absolutely.
Hell
So,
yeah,
all
DC.
right, man. I know it's getting really dark on your end, dude.
Yeah, I'm disappearing.
It's all good. He's fading into the darkness as we speak. But we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming on, man. It was a great interview. Guys, just check out Hacks Horror Show on Facebook and all the stuff, Roku and all that good stuff. But we appreciate come back on every Wednesday, 8 p.m. on live Eastern with YouTube and Facebook. Check us out, Strange Films. We do this every Wednesday, talking to some fun guests, and we're thankful for every single person who supports us and who we talk to. So thanks, Hack. We will talk to you later, man. We appreciate you.
Thank you.